What up, YouTube? T-Movies here, and happy Shark Week. Since it is pretty much Shark Week, I'm gonna be doing my reviews for shark movies. And obviously, the first shark movie I'm doing my review for is pretty much the godfather of shark movies. And that's obviously the classic 1975 Steven Spielberg directed blockbuster film, Jaws. Now, obviously, Jaws is pretty much obviously one of the biggest biggest and most popular shark movies to date. It's so terrific. I mean, Bruce the Shark is obviously one of the greatest villains, horror villains, I should say. The movie that really was one the first major blockbuster to get released. It made Steven Spielberg a bona fide name. I mean, his first movie was a movie called The Duel, I think it was called. But really, I gotta say, Jaws is really the movie that put him on the map. Despite this not being his directorial debut or anything, Spielberg did such a great job in the movie. I mean, this is obviously, to me, is one of his best films of all time. The effects, obviously, the effects at times was a little outdated because we don't have the effects that they do now. But the effects were still pretty decent. It was mostly an animatronic shark they used, which I thought was really cool. The cast members of Roy Scheider was great. You had Richard Dreyfuss, Robert Shaw. I mean, it had some really iconic, cool actors in that. Of course, some really iconic lines of, one of the most biggest line of is, obviously, we're going to need a bigger boat. That's pretty much a iconic line right there. The mayor, Larry Vaughn, played by Murray Hamilton, was pretty good here too. It had some really the movie was actually PG, believe it or not, because they did not have the PG-13 rating at the time. So yeah, I mean, I always found that it was actually PG and not even R, but still was pretty decent. It shows that a shark movie don't have to be gory to work. The beach scene with the shark coming out is really iconic. I mean, this movie made lots of people afraid to go in the water. And of course, since Jaws got released, we had so many other iconic shark movies. Sharknado, obviously, Deep Blue Sea. We even had, shark movie rip-offs of Jaws, like the Piranha movies, Orca, the Killer Whale. We had some other iconic ones. The film was, of course, based on a novel as well. And pretty cool that the novel actually came out in 1974. The movie got released a year after. That's pretty cool right there. Richard Dreyfuss, by the way, he is I always love Richard Dreyfuss in this film. He's so iconic as his character here. Roy Scheider as the role of Police Chief Martin Brody is terrific. Robert Shaw is great. Lorraine Gray, who plays the role of Brody's wife, is terrific. The movie went on to do pretty well in the box office too. Like I said, it was one of the first major, blockbusters to get released. It's definitely one of the most iconic shark movies to date. This stuff, I'm cool with remakes, but to be honest, I really don't know if you could fully remake Jaws because it's just such an iconic film. The film still, the movie got released in 1975, and you know what? Jaws still holds up today. It's definitely one of the best shark movies there is. One of the best films of 1975. And of course, Steven Spielberg went on to direct other iconic movies, such as the Indiana Jones films, E.T. Steven Spielberg obviously is the GOAT. Obviously one of the greatest filmmakers of all time, and it really shows with Jaws. And of course, we did got a couple of sequels in the line, which I'll actually get to in a separate video. But yeah, the first Jaws is and will always hold up. And if you guys have never really seen it, I believe you can find it on Hulu nowadays. You can find it on some other streaming sites. If you guys have never seen Jaws, go watch it. One of the best shark movies of all time. Definitely a great way to start a shark week, in my opinion. Anyway, let me leave you guys. What are your thoughts on Steven Spielberg's iconic shark movie, Jaws? Were you a fan of it? Were you not a fan of it? What are some of your favorite parts of it? Some of your favorite lines? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This is T-Movies signing.